Diale Cole Mercado. I am with Southeastern University in the Organizational Leadership PhD program. This presentation is regarding the power of lateral design and coordination for Leaders 7423 Organizational Systems and Management course with Dr. Emil Hawkins. So we're going to be speaking about lateral design and enhancing strategic alignment through lateral design. I'm going to be using a fictitious name for the company, which the name is Smart Stock. That is the fictitious name. That's who I'm going to be referencing throughout the presentation. So Smart Stock operates within a single business model requiring high internal alignment. There's rapid shifts in the global threat landscape, and traditional vertical structures hinder the cross-functional threat response. So we're going to talk about that some. A lot of the references I make are regarding Jay Gabrith's lateral coordination, which a lot of the references within the presentation will be speaking back to his book, and a couple of other references too, which I'll show at the end of the presentation, but it's regarding most of it is designing organizations. But he does speak about the coordination that offers strategic design approach to building dynamic cross-unit collaboration. So why do we want to use lateral design for Smart Stock? Well, specifically, there's key points that I want to point out that security challenges demand lateral integration. So we have global threat intelligence, which often sits in silos across teams and geographies, but without structured cross-sharing. We risk the delayed responses to critical threats. So that's really important that we not be in silos. Incident response is never a one-team job. It requires a lot of synchronized action from security, IT, HR, and legal. So cross-functional incident response is also really important regarding a global security composition. Regulatory compliance variations, such as like in Europe or other locations, Latham, Asia, there's important to coordinate knowledge and controls across regions quickly and effectively. And then zero trust architecture implementation requires organization-wide buy-in, not just top-down mandates. Does this matter to Smart Stock? Why does it matter to Smart Stock? Well, Gale outlines there's 5 specific mechanisms of lateral coordination. He discusses in chapter 4 of his book, Designing. And I'll go over that in a minute. Security today is fast. It's unpredictable, which we see every day in the news if you watch the news. Lateral coordination empowers teams to address threats together, not alone. So you don't want to work in a silo when it comes to security. And then the approach is essential for safeguarding Smart Stock global operations. For some reason, my graph did not come out on the presentation, so I apologize for it cutting off like that, but I'll go through each one specifically. So the first one is direct contact. So these are the mechanisms on the left side, and then the application to Smart Stock on the right side. The first one is direct contact. We can strengthen existing relationships when we institutionalize regular cross-functional syncs across security, IT, and compliance. So regular cross-functional syncs of the threat landscape is really important. The second one is liaison roles. Liaison roles. We want to make sure we assign security liaisons to major regions or to key business units to bridge the central strategy, and everybody has the same local execution. There's also the task forces. So regional security coordinators linking global policy to local teams. That's really important. We use those for urgent time sensitive issues like a breach maybe, or just having a 0-day threat response to something. There's also the matrix structures where there's dual reporting. So you have regional and functional. It's where it's appropriate, you want to make sure there's dual reporting lines that can ensure functional expertise and regional context and that both of them are being considered always. The last one is the integrating roles, where you create a security integration officer role, which could be new, and that person would oversee coordination tools and governance. And that would be focused on driving alignment across security domains and business partners. All of these are not theoretical. You want to use these for a blueprint for operational collaboration. And that's going to be important in any kind of security or global security type role or business. So, how do you implement this, right? From strategy to execution. So, we're talking about Smart Stock fiscal year 25 to 26. First, we want to pilot the lateral response teams. We want to say maybe North America, EMEA, APAC, and focus on coordinated incident response. You'll dedicate liaison roles with adjacent functions. So you'll look at legal, HR, IT, and we want to ensure that security is embedded across the discipline. It has to literally be embedded. Security mindset has to be lateral. And also, we want to launch cross organization threat intel hub, right? So, like a security operations center, and that would centralize and share intelligence information. It reduces both duplication of efforts, duplication of work, duplication of intelligence gathering, and then also cover any blind spots. And then you'll want to measure the outcomes. You'll use the metrics to talk about incident response time, make sure the gaps are closed, and make sure that there's team engagement across the board. So, what is the conclusion and the executive call to action? Securing Smart Stock's future with the lateral design. In summary, lateral design strengthens the agility, threat visibility, and compliance alignment across the board. We want to make sure that Galbraith's proven model gives a smart stock a structure to scale collaboration. It already has made major strides in process of technology, but to reach the next level, we need to evolve the structure and the flow of collaboration. Also, it enables faster, smarter responses in this type of risk environment. So, the lateral design will enhance agility, improve visibility, and build resilience across the board. And we need to know what is the call to action. We really need to know that that we have the buy-in from executive teams. So we want to endorse the lateral design principles for fiscal year 26 for the security transformation, then sponsor a pilot initiative for cross-functional security teams, and invest in the collaboration of these platforms across the board. These are the references that were used throughout this presentation. We're gathering the information for the presentation. And thank you for your time.